Good morning, happy Tuesday to you, having just returned from Tijuana, not Tijuana, although you'll hear many people call it Tijuana, both south of the border and in the United States. It's officially Tijuana, 3 syllables, not 4. I'm not sure when the urge to add an A came in, but it's kind of a half and half city now, right? I wanted to reflect a little bit on the Zona Norte, which is Tijuana's red light adult entertainment district, mainly because people are curious about that. And whenever I put up videos, as I did another Friday night in Tijuana, and earlier in 2019, a night in Tijuana, it's natural that people are curious about the adult industry down there, the red light district. And I wanted to shed some light on that and to explain some things. Most people that go down and seek out that type of entertainment south of the border will generally gravitate at a couple of the few of the clubs down there that are very well known over in the Zona Norte, which is very close. It is part of the downtown area. It's a little bit of a sketchier area for sure. It's not a place that I would walk to from the main part of Revolucion, Avenida de Revolucion. And a taxi driver will take you over there for a few bucks. And a few more bucks, taxi driver will drive you around, as he did with our crew. And I was able to capture some of that Friday night nightlife on the streets of Tijuana. First thing to bear in mind is that most guys that go south of the border in looking for a Friday night or a weekend or maybe even a weekday hookup will go down there and they will frequent one of the major clubs that's on the main street of that district. The most well known, of course, is the Hong Kong Gentlemen's Club. But they also have the Chicago Club, and then most notably there's Adelita. There's also a dance club called the Gloria down there. And it's interesting how the nightlife is configured down there, and there's also street action down there for those that want to partake. First of all, the Gentlemen's Club, the Hong Kong Gentlemen's Club, is very well known, and they're run like a well-oiled machine. You can pre-register on their website. You can get yourself a VIP card. You cross the border, walking over, and there will be a limo to whisk you to the club. And believe me, there's guys that'll spend an entire weekend in that club, sleeping in the booth as long as they continue to buy drinks and things like that. And in that club, the Hong Kong club, I don't want to say quality of girl, but the beauty of girls tends to be very top flight there. The overwhelming mix are, of course, indigenous to Mexico and South America. But I've noticed that there's quite a sprinkling of gals, Europeans and Caucasians. There's even a few from the United States now. European countries, Russia, Bulgaria, etc., that work those clubs. And they tend to be knockouts. They tend to be gorgeous girls. And like many of the clubs here in the United States, the girls take turns doing their twirls on the runway, doing their sets for the entertainment of people to raise runway. But the Hong Kong club is a very deep club, and it goes back very far, and it has another whole side to it with a bar. It's a huge operation, and there's probably no less than 100 girls that work in there on a Saturday night, and yes, they are knockout gorgeous. And there's probably an equivalent number of hosts or security and waiters that are milling about. And let me tell you, on a Friday night when we popped in for a drink to check it out, it was crowded as could be, and you could barely move around the club, much less get a place to sit down and have a couple drinks, and the girls will come up to you, and you'll notice some guys within the club, they'll get the ear of one of the hosts or waiters, and the waiter will come over and shop a variety of girls for them to preview and decide on, and they'll invite them to sit down and buy some drinks. Well, we know the rest of the story. Lap dances for $20, $25. If you want to partake of the Cascade Hotel, which I think is probably owned by the Hong Kong Club, above it, there are rooms that are available, and from what I've heard, ranging around $50 or so, $50 to $100 for your night of entertainment. And the girls are supposed to be checked out. I think they're pretty stringent unless you have a health card showing that you've had a checkup within the last 30 days or so. You're really not permitted to be in that club and working. So there's one reality of things. Of course, to my mind, I find a lot of things rather repugnant about the whole activity, but just because you get checked out by a clinic once every 30 days is no guarantee whatsoever that you're going to have a disease-free evening for sure. Okay, so that's the deal on that club, and in my opinion, they are very selective about the girls that work in there. But that's one level of the adult tourism trade in Tijuana. There's also the Premier Club, which is a men's gay club. It's one of the best well-known ones across the border, if that's your thing. And then they have what I think is very interesting. They have the Gloria, which is a dance club. And they have a pretty good sized dance club floor in there, and there'll be people dancing sambas, rumbas, merengue, etc. in there, and they're dancing with the girls, and then they're sitting down with the girls at the booth. The girls tend to be scantily clad, and I did notice that there were guys that went in there strictly for the dancing and just to have a few beers and to be able to dance. Yes, believe it or not, there are some men that enjoy dancing and enjoy going into the Gloria Club because they'll know they'll always have a partner for the price of a $2 beer, whereas at the Hong Kong Club, there's really no place to dance. It's all show and go, and you're paying $5 a beer for the Tecate Light over there, which I might mention is it's a very good beer, Tecate Light, and I enjoy it very much. So the Gloria is like a different operation. And then if you want to negotiate spending a little more time with the gal, well, that's up to you. And but please understand that that's a little more freelancing than, say, the Hong Kong, which is run like a well-oiled machine. And you're going to pay tips and room covers and things like that for your fun and enjoyment. Now let's talk about, and also the Chicago Club sort of runs the same way as the Hong Kong Club. Now let's talk about what goes on the streets. And what goes on the streets is freewheeling, and it's a Wild West, and it's not strictly limited to the Zona Norte, the red light district. In many, many, many blocks of Tijuana, you will see girls standing outside of, in many cases, seedy hotels, dressed very scantily, and we all know what the story is on them, and guys will go up and freelance with them, and they're usually hanging around a hotel where they can take care of a quickie. And from what I heard, and in talking to one of the girls that worked there in my time, walking around trying to explore the ins and outs of that district while I had some time on my hands, it's like $25 or negotiable or something like that. So is it regulated? Yes. Is it tolerated? It's called a zona tolerancia, a toleration zone of prostitution. So do people come down there to have a good time? Yeah, I would say, in my opinion, at least half of the guys that are single and ready to mingle are there to enjoy the club scene and the Zona Norte, whereas the other ones may be with family or own business and things like that. Married, don't particularly care to partake of that entertainment. So there you have the various levels of adult entertainment in Tijuana, Zona Norte, the red light district. All fun to observe from a distance for sure. One more huge sociological experiment and a place to observe, this time south of the border. Well, that's going to be a wrap here. Thank you for watching, and thumbs up for appreciating. Your questions and comments down below are always welcome and appreciated, and have a wonderful day.